1973 was the year GEMA, the Gikuyu, Embu and Meru Association, came under a new leadership that would in due course enable it to take a more aggressive political face. Formed in 1971 to look after the social, cultural and economic interests of members of the three major communities that live around Mount Kenya, it now began to serve a political purpose, that of defending the government of President Jomo Kenyatta and the political power that the Kikuyu in particular, and to a lesser extent, the Embu and Meru wielded in Kenya through him. GEMA's first senior office bearers were prominent politicians. Local government minister Julius Kiano was chairman. Finance, Economic Planning and Development Minister Mwai Kibaki was treasurer. Information and Broadcasting Minister Jeremiah Nyaga, Lands and Settlement Minister Jackson Angaine, and Agriculture Assistant Minister Maina Wanjigi were founder members. Kenyatta himself was GEMA's patron. In early 1973, however, all the politicians in the organization's leadership stepped aside or were replaced at elections by a new team, some of whom were prominent businessmen, among whom were Njenga Karume as chairman, Duncan Ndegwa as vice chairman, and Dixon Kihika Kimani as organizing secretary. Karume was a leading Kiambu businessman who was the biggest distributor of beer and cigarettes in the district. Duncan Ndegwa was governor of the Central Bank of Kenya. Kihika Kimani was a big landowner and one of the founders of the large Ngwataniro Company Limited. At its inception, Ngwataniro had 20,000 shareholders and was capitalized at the then princely sum of 27 million Kenya shillings. The company owned farms in Njoro, Laikipia, Solai, Mount Narok, Nakuru and Elementaita. Within a year of their taking over at GEMA, they used their business skills, acumen and muscle to launch GEMA Holdings Limited, with an initial capital of 50 million Kenya shillings and broad-based shareholding confined to members of the three GEMA communities. 1973 was the year old colonial names disappeared from the country's streets after local government minister Julius Kiano ordered that they be replaced by African names. That's when Delamere Avenue became Kenyatta Avenue. Victoria Street came to be called Tom Mboya Street, and Bazaar Street, Biashara Street. One other colonial relic that went was when President Kenyatta appointed Lieutenant Colonel Dedan Njuguna the country's first African commander of the Kenya Air Force, a post which had until then been occupied by white officers. On the business front, this was the year Kenyan members of the East African Community Workers Union threatened to boycott the handling of goods destined to or from Uganda by road, rail or air transport. This came after Uganda's military ruler General Idi Amin had withdrawn all trading licenses owned by Kenyan Luos in Uganda and threatened to expel them from Uganda, accusing them of having close links to ex-President Milton Obote, whom Amin had overthrown in a coup 2 years earlier. Many Kenyan parliamentarians supported the union's strike threat, and within days, Amin had reversed his position and declared that his government would protect all Kenyans in Uganda. In other areas of business, 1973 was the year construction of the Buruburu estate in Nairobi began with support from the Commonwealth Development Corporation. It was also the year Muthoni Likimani started the first African-owned public relations company in Kenya, Noni's Publicity. Among her first clients would be Seagram's Company, the international distiller whose brands such as Captain Morgan, Chivas Regal, Glenlivet and Martell she had successfully promoted in Kenya. In sports, this was the year Ben Jipcho, the steeplechaser, twice broke the world record for the distance while running in Helsinki, Finland in June. The previous year, Kipchoge had won silver in the steeplechase at the Olympic Games in Munich, Germany, the gold having gone to his compatriot Kipchoge Keino. That year also saw Kenya's Sheka Metha, partnered by Lofty Drews, win the Safari Rally. In May 1973, Kenyans said farewell to Makan Singh, the legendary trade unionist freedom fighter who had served the longest period in political detention before Kenya's independence.